y'all be thinking y'all boys snore live under a rock. I do not live under a rock. I repeat, I do not live under a rock. So some big indictment, Rico type deal happened with the Rollin 60's in LA. If you're not familiar with the Rollin 60's, they are the same group of people, individuals that Nipsey Hussle was from. If you not know, that's just me filling you in on some stuff. That's why I ain't gonna say that's why they popular. They was popular way before that, but to modern history, everyone associates 60 Rollin Crip with Nipsey Hussle. Like it's hard to hear 60 Rollin Crip without even a statement of Nipsey Hussle right behind. Anyway, apparently somebody made a diss song and died the same way they talked about in this song. That's why I refrain for saying certain things, even though I say a lot of crazy things. Them words be having power. Them words be having so much power. So just watch what you say. Hats still available. All of them didn't sell out. We sold quite a few though. I'll say this last go around with the merch was the most I done sold.
Nobody wins when the family feels.
To take down DNA, he wouldn't give them his DNA, so they had to serve him a search warrant to get his DNA.
Get out, and then they have to have an experience before they realize I should have checked in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like the checking in culture is only synonymous with gangs and wannabes. And now I ain't trying to call myself Tough Tony. I ain't trying to make it out something that is not. But dude, I go to these different cities and I don't feel the need to check in. You know what I mean? I'm really there to handle my business. Or if I'm just chilling on some vacation stuff, I'm parlaying. Like, it's either or, but I just feel like as a regular civilian, who I'm gonna call? Saul? Like, you know, I think that's only for the wannabes and the actual gangsters that's gang banging somewhere. Especially if you're a part of a gang that's originated out of California. And maybe I'm tripping. Only time I hear about people even doing things like that is the California gangs. I've never heard a Chicago GD talking about, yeah, I'm checking in with the GDs in Arkansas. I know they got something out there. Anyway, all I'm saying is this. If you don't want to check in, be a civilian. Because sitting here trying to get answer from somebody else it's already sound a little fool, in my opinion, but I don't know. Like I said, I ain't trying to make it out like I'm Tough Tony or something that ain't something that it ain't or not. It's just I really don't feel the need to do that. Now, if I go to a city and I know somebody there, yo, really, I'm calling for some gas. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Call the gas, man. You know. But when the feds come and get you, they coming to get you.
The acting United States Attorney here in Los Angeles. Today, we're here to announce federal criminal charges against Eugene Henley Jr., a career criminal known as Big U, who used his...
It's always funny hearing a gangster real name. Eugene. Eugene. I don't know why Eugene was so funny.
...contacts and leadership role in the Crips criminal street gang, the entertainment industry, and a youth charity to further his own criminal enterprise. An enterprise that engaged in murder, extortion, robbery, human trafficking, COVID fraud, and other felonies. Mr. Henley and several other individuals linked to him and his criminal enterprise were charged in a criminal complaint with federal racketeering conspiracy. Mr. Henley is a fugitive, and he is currently wanted by federal law enforcement. Other individuals linked to his criminal enterprise were arrested today, approximately 10 defendants who are charged in various indictments. Again, Mr. Henley is a fugitive. 4 defendants are in state custody and will be transferred into federal custody, and we are still seeking Mr. Henley and another fugitive.
Another Rico had just took place.
See, that's why that nigga got blind when he seen the feds. Y'all remember No Jumper? The feds got who? The feds. If you remember the video, I can't remember it right now. It's probably a Brick Baby video. But anyway, the feds. Nigga got blind as a bat.
Prominent figures in that indictment. This time we're going to Los Angeles, family, where we talk about the Rollin 60's Crips. A gang that was well known for people like Big U, a man that's also in this indictment. Also associated with this gang was the late rapper, may he rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. Big U always has some form of talks surrounding his demise. Who put the hit out? Who was in control? Is it still real leadership that someone in your own gang, who's not technically the boss, take out such prominent figure in Nipsey Hussle? Also in this indictment is a man who recently made his waves in podcasting on No Jumper, a man who go by the name of Brick Baby, alongside 18 other defendants. Today we go over this story. With so much speculation throughout the years, we finally have confirmation in black and white. Recently the feds have listed a number of events: extortion, politicking, and the damaging of a mall, murder. The murder of a high school standout football player who was the best friend of Big U's son. He was also a rapper. And according to the feds, he made a diss song, which we'll later discuss. And after making that diss song,
5 days. That was insane work. That was insane work.
Seems to aim at Big U. That man was found deceased, thrown in the middle of the highway. Now, what make this story even more crazier, this was brought up about 6 days ago by Wack 100, a man who allegedly is a leader of the Bloods gang, once friends with Big U, but lately they turned enemies. And I find it ironic that Big U get indicted just 6 days later, what some people thought was just mere speculation. Today we go over this indictment, talk about each count, go over the events that's listed in this indictment, and see where they stand today. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to jump right to it. Fam, meet Eugene Big U Henley, a Crips leader who helped launch Nipsey Hussle's career and was dubbed rap's godfather by people like Wiz Khalifa. He recently has been accused of murder, kidnapping, robbery, extortion, fraud by federal authorities. As part of Big U reported grip on Los Angeles, his alleged victims were required to check in with Henley before arriving in the city in order to obtain quote-unquote protection. According to the 107-page federal complaint unveiled.
Man, and that's another thing, protection. I get it. LA is one of them cities, though. It may look good. See, I'm so used to the Midwest to South trenches. The Midwest and South trenches all look the same. LA trenches, man, you'll see a palm tree, a clean building. Hey, I'm talking about stores everywhere. Just the whole 9 for real. Alright, cool. In the South, you just know you in the trenches. Trash everywhere. Liquor store, probably liquor store here, then 2 blocks down there. It's like that in LA. I went to a liquor store off Slauson. Or I was on my way to see where the 60's actually be. I ain't gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. I was on my adventure explorer. But anyway, that's why I'm thinking I was on Slauson. Slauson is like a street that run like this or like this, but it just long and runs. It just runs. But yeah, I went to a liquor store off Slauson, I believe. I'll bring that up to this for this point right here. So the liquor store I went to, the next liquor store was closer to the 60's. I seemed like I ran into 3 or 4 in just a matter of a quick little distance. It wasn't on no timing where one across the street, but it's like liquor store. You go down like 2-3 liquor store. liquor store, and then it's something called the little restaurants. It all seemed like the ghetto, and that's when it came to my head. But back to the South and Midwest, it's trash everywhere. Bandos, none but just bandos. You know the bandos. See crackheads walking around. It's like they all got a look. And then in a city like Detroit, shout out to my Detroitians, but y'all know, it get to y'all got whole abandoned neighborhoods. Yep, I said it right here on Snore Channel. But like I said, shout out to my Detroitians. Yep.
Today, among those Big U allegedly extorted were professional athletes and musicians. The complaint said whose business interests were not always legitimate. Federal authorities likened Big U enterprise to a, quote, mafia-like organization, end quote, that relies on his stature and long-standing associates with the Rollin 60's and other street gangs to intimidate businesses and individuals in LA. Authorities said today in a press conference, which we'll later check out, that Big U is a fugitive on the run, and more than a dozen others are in custody tied to a sprawling criminal case. The U.S. District Attorney, quote, Big U has maintained the image of an entertainment industry entrepreneur, running a music label, and of somebody who gives back to the community of Los Angeles. The U.S. Attorney Joseph had, quote, the facts alleged in the complaint a very different picture. There's one of a murderer, a thief, a liar, and a cheater, and the criminals that enabled him. Following a years-long FBI investigation, federal authorities have accused Big U of kidnapping and fatally shooting a young rapper in the face and leaving his body in the Las Vegas desert over perceived disrespect, which we'll later discuss in further details. According to the indictment, in directing the robbery,
I'm assuming this nigga went to prison. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. Prison ain't nothing but a place to breed better criminals. That's all it's doing. It's breeding every day you wake up in prison, you're becoming a better criminal. Trust. I'm trying to sit here and think, did he say Buddy went to prison or not? It don't even matter. If he did sit down, that was just college. He learned a lot, came back out with that new knowledge and went crazy. How you get away with a murder from 3 years ago? And then you'll think you such a boss type of guy. You're not doing no stuff like that. You personally hand on that? More so of a call. You know? It's more so of a call. You'll think Buddy a shot caller. I wouldn't expect him personally to do that. But they saying the feds are saying it. It's almost good as gold with them.
Of an unlicensed LA marijuana dispensary that had stopped making extortion payments. This was 107 pages, fam. But Big U also allegedly defrauded companies, donors, athletes, and celebrities, including professional basketball player Draymond Green and former NBA MVP Shaquille O'Neal, persuading them to donate to his charities and later alleging transferring the money to his own personal bank accounts. Authorities also have accused Big U of fraudulently obtaining funding from the Game Reduction and Youth Development Program overseen by the LA's.
And see, that's how Soulja Boy got his way in with the Power Rules out there, or the Bloods, or whatever. They say Big Soulja ain't from the hood. But anyway, that's how he got his status. That's not a good status. You ain't got no rank for real. You just got a deep pockets. Such a shame. That's crazy.
Mayor's office. Now, in the backstory on Big U, he previously served 13 years in prison after trying to rob an undercover.
10 years of college? That nigga should have a doctorate degree. But 13 years in criminal college? Yeah, he got a PhD in finessing. You know, and finesse it. And then here's another thing you gotta have in prison. You know what I'm saying? The gift, the gab, but like standing on your word. In prison, talking in there on the phone with a little boy, talking so good you can sell water to a well. Yeah. Something about the world's greatest finessers intrigued me. Like a Bernie Madoff. Got away with how much? Boy? Plane crashed though, but how much?
a sheriff's deputy of 33 pounds of cocaine in 1991. His son is a linebacker for the Los Angeles Chargers.
This weekend, and one former WSU Cougar was lucky enough to hear his name called in the third round.
Crim 2's Andrew Quinn sat down.
Shout out to him, but we ain't coming here for this. Talented, very talented. Appreciate you for making it to the league. We're going to see you many years to come.
Alleged right-hand man Sylvester Robinson and trustee Lieutenant Mark Martin are accused of violating the Rico Act. Now, authorities also have charged Rayan Williams, aka Lucci Cannon, with robbery, Armani Afaji, aka Monty, with transporting an individual to engage in prostitution, and Frederick Blayton Jr. and Tiffany Hines with bank fraud. All of them are in custody, except
they had their hands in everything. Everything, like prostitution, pimping, bank fraud, and they had the Rico Act. So what, they bought drugs or guns and stuff for the gang with the legal fund. That's all it is. All you gotta do, look, they can hit you with a Rico. Say you give one of your homeboys 1,000 legal money. He go buy a pound of weed with. Boy, you niggas is under the Rico Act now. You just did not. And they gonna put a name to y'all gang. Y'all probably ain't even got a gang name. Yep.
Big U. In an affidavit filed with the criminal complaint, Andrew Rosa, a special agent with the FBI, said members and associates of the Big U enterprise used Big U's and the group's history and reputation to, quote, control, end quote, Los Angeles through violence, fear, and intimidation. Now that's funny because Big U once did an interview on $1 Million Worth of Game with Wallow and Gilly, and he spoke about how he handled disputes or problems within his own camp. Also on this show, or on this episode rather, was Wack 100. Check out about 60 seconds.
But let me tell you, she tell a nigga, I don't even think it was for the rest of the table to hear, but she tell a nigga on some deep shit. She said, yeah, nigga, cause you're getting soft.
What?
And he say, hey,
so let me tell you.
No, hold on. He said, no, hold on, wait, hold on. After I tell his story. But so me,
it was more to the story.
I'm instigating. Damn, getting soft. So now it's out the whole table. She looked right at me. Yeah, Gilly, nigga, getting soft. So now he gotta say. Now he gotta speak up. No. See, what I tell you about? I ain't getting soft. One of my homies was at the house, and he did something she ain't like. She wanted me to break the nigga arm, and I ain't break the nigga. Yeah, she looked at him and said, listen, she looked at him and said, yeah, you should have broke his fucking arm.
I'm gonna give you an analogy. She let me in, I go to sleep. Now catch this analogy. You remember how you called me about Lil Youngster, our little family? We did some fuck shit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so you could have cut his head off. Yeah. Or cut an ear off. But we don't. Stacy was like, you should have cut the nigga ear off. Or you should have did something to him.
Broke the nigga arm.
Down. The only difference is
Stacey, a gangster.
The reason why a woman doesn't rule a nation, reason why a woman shouldn't rule a nation, because she will rule with emotion. And a man won't. Because I understand. Sometimes if I do something, let me explain it to you.
But you acted off emotion.
So you telling me
you just beat a whole.
Whoever it was one like our little dude.
It didn't warrant me because I could have lost more by being physical with one of the little homies who did something wrong. Or I could have let that go and let everybody else see that I show mercy sometime. And her mind is no, cut his ear off. You should at least cut his ear off. You should have got something. But every time you don't use Bron.
So it's safe to say that it was growth involved.
It was growth. That's she was like, no, you getting soft. She like, you should have. And I'm like, no. But look at where now.
If we don't do it that way,
never had another product since then. Still doing everything.
But hold on, though, bro. If we don't do it that way, and we taking count, then they telling us we should make better decisions.
And we being too mean. I learned from youngsters. Let me tell you something.
I ain't gonna lie, he spared dude one time, but I just got my mind going. Well, what happened to the niggas he didn't spare? Well, obviously one of them, but golly, it's probably just a slew of just a whole bunch of boy got abused.
I had a situation having one of my homeboys. He didn't pay a debt, and he didn't do something. And I called one of my other homies and said, "Look, bring him to me." So when he got to me, but before he got to my other homie said, You like Pops, you know, you like, Like, man, you had niggas scared in the world because we can't make one mistake. And so, since my little homeboy said that to me, and he was basically talking simply for somebody else, he wasn't even the one who was on the table. But he made me realize, like, okay, you can't just be bronze all the way. And I hate to give a story on like one of my close friends.
Well, here go the problem
from Main
with that.
Street.
But you know what the problem was, right? With that.
Let me give you one more story.
Here go the problem, though,
Jail Dog.
Now, the feds claimed that the Big U enterprise was a front for promoting himself as a reformed gang member focused on bettering the community. But now you got a pretty good idea on who Big U is, well, at least according to the public. Let's talk about the details in this paperwork, starting with the Las Vegas killing. Man, meet Rayan Williams. He was a wide receiver for Crenshaw High. He lived with Big U because he was the best friend to Big U's son, who now played for the Chargers. 5 days before his demise in January of 2021, Rayan Williams recorded a diss song. In his affidavit, the agent said he believed that Williams' diss song was about Big U, whose independent record label, Unique Music, was representing the 21-year-old rapper. Now, it's unclear whether Big U heard diss lyrics prior to the killing, according to the complaint. In the diss song, Williams referred to Big U as the, quote, bro that makes some money, end quote. Now, Williams rapped himself.
I could beat that in court. That ain't. Yep.
That he might get him.
Bro, who is bro? That's all I'm gonna ask the judge, Your Honor. Who is bro? To be assumed, Big U. Assumed? That's all I done heard. Assumed? You don't throw this case out? Throw the whole case out. Yep. Throw the case out. Got to now, cause you in here playing.
Self-shot in the face for thinking shit funny. He mentioned a .38 revolver with no trace. Now, 5 days later after that diss song, Las Vegas police found Williams' body in a ditch near a landfill on January 25th, 2021. May he rest in peace and love and condolences to his family. He'd been shot in the face with a revolver that left no shell casings. According to the affidavit, Unique Music paid to fly Williams from California to Las Vegas in January 2021 and put him up in an Airbnb. His family said Big U had coached the young rapper.
Oh, they got way more evidence than a bar from a song. They got way more evidence.
Football since he was young. Williams was supposed to spend a week at the recording studio and record a song a day, but he missed some days. When Williams didn't show up to the studio on January 23rd, 2021, investigators said Big U and Robinson drove from LA to Las Vegas to confront him. A friend of Williams, identified only as CA, recounted that Big U arrived at the Airbnb around 2 a.m. on January 24th, 2021. Big U asked why Williams hadn't shown up to the studio. CA told the authorities Williams claimed he didn't have a ride. Quoting, I believe Williams wasting the time.
That's the engineer talking.
By disparring Big U name and
engineer definitely C8.
Big U enterprise reputation and potentially flaunting that disrespect with.
I believe that RW wasted the time, thereby disparaging Henley name and the Big U enterprise reputation, potentially flaunting the disrespect with the lyrics in the diss song led to the dispute.
The lyrics of the diss song led to a dispute, according to the feds. But nonetheless, they headed to the studio. Big U arrived at the studio about 7 p.m. Williams arrived a couple hours after and recorded until midnight. Witnesses told authorities about 12:30 a.m. Big U left the studio. The dark gray Lexus that he and Robinson had driven to the studio was no longer there. According to the feds, shortly before 1 a.m., Big U's phone stopped reporting locations data. It didn't start again until about 2:15 a.m. Surveillance footage at the Airbnb where Williams was staying captured a dark gray and silver sedan, arriving about 1:13 a.m. According to the complaint, Williams got out of the passenger side of the car, went inside, and returned a few minutes later with a suitcase. Despite the fact that the Airbnb was rented for another date and he was not set to leave on a flight until the following day. Around 3 a.m., a witness said Big U returned to the studio alone. The witness said Big U appeared to be drenched in either sweat or water. Now at this point you figure Big U know exactly who this witness is.
Or blood. I'm just
because
saying.
According to the feds, Big U told the witness he was coming.
Ain't putting nothing past Big U. Big U was get. stiff.
Back from the gym, according to the complaint. Hours later, on January 25th, 2021, at around 9 a.m., Williams' body was found in a ditch. He had died of multiple gunshot wounds. He was shot in the face. Authorities compared DNA collected from Williams' body to Big U's DNA profile. The result was inconclusive, but Big U, quote, could not be excluded, end quote, as a suspect, according to the complaint. Also documented in the complaint, following the homicide, Big U allegedly arranged for recording equipment from the studio to be removed and surveillance video to be destroyed. The feds wrote that they believed the footage would have shown an altercation between Big U and Williams the night of the killing, and at minimum, Big U and Williams leaving the studio together shortly before Williams' murder. A month after Williams' death, the FBI LA Metropolitan Task Force on Violent Gangs launched an investigation into Big U Enterprise and its association with the Rollin 60's. Now, in this indictment, it also pointed out that Big U is considered an original gangster, an OG. Big U is an admitted member and original gangster, or OG, of the Rollin 60's, and someone who, quote, widely regarded as a leader, end quote, within the game. Now, this is where they do the check-ins. But before we do that, listen to what Big U have to say in regards to what checking in means. Check it out.
The youngsters get out, and then they have to have an experience before they realize, I should have checked in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or I should have called, or I should have been moving a certain way. And so they get out, and they might be under your banner, but then they not respecting the banner. They ain't calling you. They got your number. Mm-hmm. They know who you is, but they feel like they bigger than the program. You know, and you got a lot of dudes, like when I was here last time, that claim my neighborhood that's in this music shit, but they don't really fuck with us until it's a problem. Then they call it. Like Quando Rondo. I just showed.
Mm-hmm.
I see where you're coming from. I absolutely see where you're coming from, but that don't make it.
Envy. Like, you can't call me now. You can't call me when the fire hot.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't fuck with me before that. You know what I mean? You had my number. You could have called me. You could have did all that. You know what I mean? But he was around about. But how is that fair to me?
And if you hear what happened to Quando Rondo, I wouldn't be too coming of messing with y'all either. We ain't forget. We have not forgot. You know. I'm just saying. Somebody treat me like that. You think I'm about to mess with y'all? Absolutely not.
So now you know how Big U feel. In 2022, according to the feds, they interviewed a witness identified as CW1, corroborating witness 1, who claimed that rap artists, athletes, and other visitors needed to pay Big U a fee when they came to the city. CW1 told authorities about a large buy-in dice game in LA in June 2019. The game involved a professional boxer, identified only as AB, AB's associates, and several prominent NBA players. According to CW1, AB and his associates fixed the game, cheating the NBA players out of millions of dollars using teased dice. After the game, according to the CW, games or advertising shit, but he has denied various robberies allegedly carried by Big U Enterprise, including one of Big U Enterprise.
Alright, I'm gonna just leave the video. We've already been here 33 minutes. But look though, man, if you got a chance to make it clean in life, do that. Leave them ways alone. That, I swear, people that just know how to find a way into some mess, or try to take the easy way, or like don't really put that work in, they always find themselves back at the bottom, because you can't cheat this. And this is success or monetary gain. You can't cheat it. It may look good, like say your rich scammer friend. Yeah, he got it. How long that run gonna last? Cause that's a 100 meter race. It's quick. Marathon is better. So take that for how you want to take it. Let me know if you made it to the end. Put double mint down in the comment section. It's your boy Snore. I'm gone.